Rink Vancouver. Pre-game, post-game, every game presented by Bodog. From sports odds to free casino games, make a play at bodog.net. Wadden and JPat back once again with you with another edition of the pre-game show as the Ottawa Senators come to town. JPat and the Canucks are looking to do something that they haven't done all season long. Dare I say it? 4 in a row?
4 in a row if they can get the job done against a Senators team that's going to be motivated right there, bumping up against the playoff bar in the Eastern Conference. Canucks have had 4 separate occasions of 3 consecutive wins, but they haven't been able to make it 4 in a row yet. 3 of them were under Bruce Boudreau. This is the first time under Rick Tocchet. And of course, 4-game win streak is the tankus nightmare. But here they are. They've rattled off 3 straight wins against Toronto, against Nashville, against Anaheim, and they'll try to go 4 for 4 with a victory over the Sens tonight.
Let's get to the lineup change. It's presented by Delaney's OK Tire out there on Fraser Highway in Langley. Demko going to get the start and goal. Any changes up front, though?
Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's going to be the same 18 skaters in front of him. Why would you mess with a winning lineup if you're Rick Tocchet? Now, Ethan Bear took the morning skate, so that's a sign of progress. Of course, it was 2 weeks ago today against the Boston Bruins that he took that puck to the mouth in his first shift of the hockey game. He's missed the last 5 contests, but the fact that he was out with the group indicates that he's getting closer. Maybe the next game, the final game of the homestand against Dallas, we'll see about that. But it looks like it'll be those same 6 defenders, including the 3 AHL call-ups, and it looks like the same 12 forwards in the same line combinations that they've been using here for the last couple of games.
And that lineup gave them a solid performance against Anaheim, but let's keep in mind, it's the Ducks.
It was the Ducks, and context matters, but if you're Rick Tocchet and you're evaluating what you've got to work with here, yeah, I mean, the top-end guys came through. JT Miller with a couple of goals, including the overtime winner, ANDREI KUZMENKO with another goal. And really, I thought in the third period, the Canucks, even though it was a 2-all tie, and they weren't able to separate and pull away from the Ducks, they controlled the shots, they controlled the chances, and really didn't feel like they were in danger. And then, of course, 20 seconds into overtime, JT Miller rifles the puck over the shoulder of Lucas Dostal, his second of the night, game, set, and match at that point. So they're going to face better opponents. The Senators are a better opponent than the Anaheim Ducks, but I think for the Canucks, they like the way that they have played here of late, and we'll see if they can do it again one more time here this evening.
Since Rick Tocchet's taken over, defense has been key for this team, and they're starting to become a better defensive club.
Yeah, now, one of the key words is one that you uttered earlier, Demko. Thatcher Demko's been back here. He looks like old Thatcher Demko, and I think it just allows the team to relax and play a little more comfortably in front of him, but the numbers are what the numbers are. In 7 of their last 9 games, they have held their opponents to 3 goals or fewer, and that certainly is a change from earlier in the season when it felt like 5 a night. Almost every night for the Vancouver Canucks, the number of goals they were giving up. So they are bringing the goals against down, but this Ottawa team can score. So this one will be a challenge this evening.
Don't know if it's a combination of the Coca-Cola or the bananas on the bench, but ANDREI KUZMENKO is red hot right now.
Yeah, I think he's a Pepsi guy, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But whatever it is that he's consuming, it's the good stuff because it's working for him. 30th goal of the season. Got a fortunate bounce in off a skate of Mason McTavish the other night, but they all count. And 30 is an impressive total for anybody in their first year in the National Hockey League. But it wasn't just the other night. He is on a remarkable run right now. 8 goals in his last 10 games. But you take it back even further than that over a span of 2 head coaches. 15 goals in his last 27 games. So ANDREI KUZMENKO, he knows where the net is, and we'll see if he finds it against the Senators.
All right, let's take a look at these Sens right now who are desperately trying to get themselves into a playoff position. They got a massive win the other night over Seattle.
Yeah, a bit of a wild hockey game. They were up 3-0 early on, and then they found themselves trailing 4-3 in the third period. But the veteran Claude Giroux, he came through for them, and that set the stage for a late game winner from Alex DeBrincat, a guy who knows how to score goals in the National Hockey League. And the Sens skate out of Seattle with a 5-4 victory. And that was a bounce-back game for them because you'll recall, they got slapped in Chicago, lost 5-0. Yeah. A surprising result around the National Hockey League. They didn't have their best effort against the Blackhawks, but certainly found a way to respond with a good win in Seattle, where, let's be honest, not a lot of teams are taking 2 points.
And the Sens have been very good as of recent. Their last 18 games, they've been on a really good stretch.
Yeah, 13 wins in those 18 games. So that's why they're back in this playoff hunt. And as they started the day today, just 4 points below the playoff bar in the Eastern Conference, and there's enough time left in the schedule that I think you're going to see a fair bit of volatility still. So they're very much in it. The problem is they don't have much of a margin for error. So games like tonight, they've got to get points. They move into Calgary for the second half of a back-to-back tomorrow, and so they're just trying to put as many points in their basket as they can. But the loss in Chicago, it stands out because it's their only loss in the last 7 games. They're 6-1 as they arrive in Vancouver in their last 7 tonight.
They got some help on the blue line, though. A big addition at the trade deadline in Jakob Chychrun.
Yeah, and this was a sign, I think, for management that they believe in this group. And why wouldn't you when you've got Tim Stützle, who's having an incredible season? Brady Tkachuk is Brady Tkachuk. He's productive. He's in the middle of things all the time. I mentioned Claude Giroux. He's having a terrific year. This is an Ottawa team that has 5 50-point players. So they know about offense. There's no doubt about it. They wanted to shore up the back end, and they did that with one of the biggest fish out there on the market. Jakob Chychrun has stepped in. He had a goal and an assist in Seattle the other night. He's got 2 goals and 2 helpers in the 4 games, so he's been a point-a-game guy, and I do think that he can really help this playoff push for the Ottawa Senators.
Chychrun, of course, a big addition on the blue line, but Claude Giroux has been a massive addition to the forward group, not only with the points he's putting up, but the leadership.
Yeah, just been a perfect fit, and you never know that. I mean, you hope when you go out and get a guy who is from the Ottawa area that he's coming home sort of in the twilight of his career. Of course, got dealt from Philadelphia to Florida as a rental last year. Didn't really work out there, but boy, has it worked out. And then some for Giroux and the Ottawa Senators. 27 goals, 65 points. He's 35 years of age. The only guys that are 35 or older in this league with more points than Giroux, Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. So he's keeping pretty good company among the older set in the National Hockey League.
Let's get to the stat that stands out. It's presented by Jason Hominick at jason.mortgage.
Yeah, I think for me, the stat that jumps out about this Ottawa team, and I talked about the fact that they can put up points, they've got offensive firepower, but it's the fact that their special teams are special. They are 6th in the National Hockey League on the penalty kill and 5th in the NHL on the power play. So if special teams decide a hockey game like this one tonight, certainly that bodes well for the Ottawa Senators. We know the struggles the Canucks have had with their penalty kill. This is a potent power play, but if the Canucks have a man advantage, the Sens have been among the league's best when it comes to killing off penalties. So that is the stat that stands out to me. Special teams. It's a presentation of Jason Hominick at jason.mortgage.
Let's get to my Bodog Best Bet now. Feeling really good about this one. It's just dripping with value as well. Quinn Hughes and Tim Stützle, both over 0.5 assists in this game at plus 230. Oh my. Run to Bodog and place that bet.
Yeah, I like that one as well. I think we're going to see some offense in this one. Obviously, Thatcher Demko wants to do his part to prevent the Senators from scoring. The wild card in all of this is a guy by the name of Mads Søgaard, who is the 3rd stringer on the Ottawa Senators, but he's become their de facto number 1 goaltender. Injuries to Anton Forsberg and Cam Talbot. And so the Sens are making this late season playoff push, and they're doing it on the backs of 3rd and 4th string American hockey leaguers. We know that didn't work for the Vancouver Canucks. We'll see if the Senators can get enough goaltending tonight and over the balance of their schedule. But I just feel that there's going to be some offense in here on a Saturday night, the big stage, Hockey Night in Canada. So I like that best bet for you.
And you could win $50 in Bodog bucks. Here's what you got to do. Give us the game-winning goal, time, and period. You can leave it in a comment here on YouTube or go over to Twitter at RinkWideVan and tell us the game-winning time and period. The closest to that is going to take home $50 in Bodog bucks. And I'll tell you what, you can stretch that and make yourself some money. All right. Let's get to the best part of the pregame, though. Who tonight is going to do something in this game?
I've got my eyes on Anthony Beauvillier, who has been productive since coming over in the Bo Horvat deal from the Islanders. And of course, he's playing on that line with Elias Pettersson and ANDREI KUZMENKO. It just kind of feels like right now KUZMENKO is scoring all the goals, although Pettersson's playing at a ridiculously high level as well. Beauvillier found himself as a nice complementary piece, but he hasn't put a puck in the net since he did it twice in Dallas 4 games ago. So nothing to worry about, but just a little bit quiet. And so there's a guy that I'm looking at lots of games over the years as an Eastern Conference guy against the Senators. He should know them well, and we'll see if he knows his way to the back of the net. So Anthony Beauvillier is the guy that I'm looking at to do something for the Vancouver Canucks tonight.
All right, well, let's see if the Canucks can play spoiler to the Sens tonight at Rogers Arena. This has been another edition of the Rink Wide Vancouver podcast presented by Bodog. For Jeff Patterson, I'm Andrew Wadden. Remember, Rink Wide is the show that always scores.